when it came to, the Vietnam War, the rights of Africans to be independent, and the evidence of planning in the AIDS attack, I was always one to cut to the chase. I discussed in Pitt News articles what I anticipated the impact of rumor about the internet should it arrive. Um, so I'll recapitulate some of the things that I bore witness to that some of you did too, and some of it was more personal and depredating. Like the Alamo plaque. Plaque was pouring out of my mouth when he went to the Alamo, that Trumpy tune, after losing office. They scribbled tulip before poisoning my lip in anticipation of COVID, which they also scrawled before anybody had heard about it. So I was studying climate change at Tacoma Community College when I first heard about Greta. I have asked Greta politely the question, did you know in advance about COVID? I believe Attenborough pretty clearly did. They had a tremolo instrument in an antique store that caught my eye, as I suspect they knew it was. It would, and I began trembling with Parkinson's. Greta is in place to evoke, God bless Greta, I don't mean her any harm, on behalf of this gang. So I asked her point blank, did you know that COVID was coming? And she has deigned to hide behind George Monbiot, a foreign English who champions Netanyahu and Penis Gabriel in their last temptation crime, which they tortured me, murdered my father as part of the AIDS attack. And then, we didn't wear the walrus, nah, 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 you could have been Lennon. Stuff. So you see, COVID came wreaking havoc on the heels of Greta's announcement. And then Putin demolished all hope. Valieva signaled me to investigate Ouspensky and Cubism, which led to Fayum and the Houdini that they planned with the help of Lysander that Lenin pulled, which is their, license to do everything. And, Zell and Zelensky both had the same question. How can a Nazi be an advocate for the Jewish Defense League? Nah, 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 nah. And Joseph Biden comes with Sherman Alexie. We're stark raving Native American advocates. So we're, no climate justice on occupied lands. So they played, pretty shrewd rhetorical ploys in that. Where I've always come from is I know that there's some talented, intelligent, dignified, resourceful, mature adults across the board in the United States. And I know that the gun-happy Hollywood bully pulpit, you start talking about me, you diss me, I'll get you, what they call a smackdown, Seattle stuff, that leads to all these massacres. It's fundamentally geared to dismantle adult behavior of any sort. Biden, hot-wired around the lockdown, he was like, no, they want to echo retraining, climate change and social justice. We're trying to build a war machine here. So what you need to do is look into echo schools and fossil fuel rationing. Fossil fuel rationing is entirely called for. These are rational conduct cards. So, rational conduct card says Greta should just answer the question. I'm not going to persecute her. You know, is she afraid to lie? Say, yeah, no, I didn't know. If you tell me you didn't know, Greta, I'll believe you. But you're not. You're hiding behind Monbiot makes it look like, well, we all knew about AIDS and COVID. Yeah, yeah. So rational conduct cards is echo schools, fossil fuel rationing, mature adult behavior. Whoever the weirdo is that rewired my last video in closed captions to say that what make it look like what they were doing to Gaza is love. It's so derisively psychotic that I can only believe it was the usual crime team, Roger Waters, Diagoras, and Cliff Robertson was in that game before he killed. Redford, McGarvey, that Reagan gang. And if you go back into my records, you'll see that they were calling the AIDS attack Operation Little Girl from the very beginning. So, I've offered to help Greta. I've offered to help Greta as a human being who was standing in her shoes and can only see her as acting the way she did out of reason and rationality. But if she's part of the crowd that poisoned me in the mouth and is using Native American grievance to justify the AIDS attack, then it's no wonder she doesn't want to say anything. So, yeah, I can understand that my mother would say, Greta, don't talk to Jimmy because no matter how much he loves you, he brags whenever anybody touches with him. So if you talk to Jimmy, he's going to go, Greta, talk to me, nya, nya, Greta, talk to me, nya, nya. To all those people out there with the licky chops, they're going to get you, which is what Biden did. That's what that horrible liar Barack Obama did. He said, they set up a carriage house for an African woman, and Rosa and I would drive the African woman home to this Israeli carriage house. See, Obama got a ride to the Israeli carriage house in Washington, D.C., the White House, in return for saying, if Queerbait tries to snitch on us about the AIDS attack, we're going to put in a good one for him. We're going to Putin him. You imagine how it smelled. This is the Nazi bully microphone system that they have adroitly installed with Pentagon Disney. And we're going to get the legume of their reconciliation package. When Trumpy deigns with President Xi and Kim to allow for reconciliation. What we need instead are common sense cards. We need fossil fuel rationing. We need echo schools. We need, when it comes to the Congo, I have studied some things about Africa. That's it. I've seen their art. I think the best way to go about helping Africa is to patronize African stores, for example. When the store opened on East Lake, that was African stuff. I didn't have much money, but I would go there and patronize them when they had videos coming out of Africa. I'd patronize the video store. If that's not good enough, then nothing is good enough, because a consumer, which is what I am, can only try to find out what's going on. And what I don't believe is the Green Party switchboard, because Africologists were involved and announced that they were involved in the murder of my father, in the AIDS attack, in COVID. That's saving their people. That's saving their people. I'm just not into it, you see. So what they have in mind is plugging everybody into this thing they call TikTok psychology. And going like Zelig, while behind the scenes in the revolving, bookshelf room, they're laughing at everybody. Because what you don't know, you don't know. And what you do know is what they spoon feed you. What they spoon feed you. Yeah. And so, and I don't know the truth about the Congo. The TikTok legerdemain system says that France and Portugal and America are mining for green technology, and it's leading to massacres. So all of this black on black crime has the reasonable culprit of the white men. And that's the sum total of everything they're spending. Sherman Alexie is doing the same thing for Joseph Biden. And that's what UW Dialectical tries to fork prong. They try to fork prong that behind the white devil is the black man Colin Powell, setting up two virgins pussy ball at the University of Pittsburgh in a snuff film where they put a bat in my father's bed and then he dies. This is irrational conduct. It leads to a national editorial schizophrenia where the people in newspapers do not dare represent what is happening because of the administrative insanity of University of Washington and University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University. Instead, what they do is they say, plug in these frequency analyzers and say, you're on the wrong frequency. You want to question the decision to bomb thousands of innocent school children in Gaza while questioning the circumstances around Uvalde. So therefore, we're going to give you a big one to chew on. We're going to talk about Congo and sick black gangs on you as the white. And behind this is spinner beanies from like Pope Carl. And that's UW's whole circuit board. It's a roulette system. Spin the roulette casino. It's no wonder they have Native Americans at their helm, because that's Native American stuff. It's casinos, right? So you put your ball and Sherman Alexie spin the ball, and it's minority grievance game. The minority grievance game, yeah. And the minority grievance game is going to stonewall any questions about what happened to your grannies during COVID. Any questions about what happened to your father at the University of Pittsburgh. It's not gonna, you don't give your lunch money to the union. It ain't gonna sit too well with them. So you'll see this whole, when it's all done, you'll see the children of your elementary school lining up and forced to give their lunch money to the Green Party because you question the union man's lunch money stick up. You question the union man's lunch money stick up, and it ain't going to sit too well with them. You get me? Get me, queer ball?